Hello students, welcome to this session. So in this session we are going to discuss about introduction to data acquisition on PC. So here the data acquisition system, which is consisting of the physical phenomenon, transducers, signal conditioning units, data acquisition board and personal computer. So here the PC based data acquisition system and the plug-in boards are used in a wide range of applications, which is particularly in the laboratory, field and on the manufacturing plant floor. So here the data acquisition plug-in boards are general purpose data acquisition instruments that are suited for measuring the voltage signals. So here in real world, the sensors and transducers will give the output signal that must be conditioned before the data acquisition board, which can effectively and accurately acquire the signal. So this front-end pre-processing, which is generally referred to as a signal conditioning, which includes the signal amplification, filtering, electrical isolation and multiplexing. So in addition, many transducers which requires excitation currents or voltage, which and also the bridge completion and linearization of high amplification for proper and accurate operation. So in this session we are going to discuss about the block diagram, which is having an analog signal which is fed into the signal conditioner. So this signal conditioning, which includes the functions like amplification, filtering, isolation and also multiplexing. So and then the signal conditioning, after that it is going to the ADC board, that is analog to digital converter. So here the analog signal which is converted into a digital signal. So and after that the communication block, which is to be processed before the final stage. So here the most PC based data acquisition system, which includes the form of signal conditioning in addition to the plug-in data acquisition board and also the personal computer. So here the analog and digital signal. So analog signals is having a continuous and also expressed in the decimal systems. So here there is no limitation on the maximum or minimum value. So because it is having a both positive and negative peaks. So and it cannot be processed by the computer. So only the digital signal will be processed by the computer, which is following the binary number systems in terms of the combination of zeros and ones. So here the maximum value, which is limited by the number of bits which is available in the process. So here the instrument, which is may be defined as a device or a system which is designed to maintain a functional relationship between the prescribed properties of physical variables and also the ways by means of a communication to a human observer. So here the signal conditioning unit, which functions or modify the analog signal to match the performance of the analog to digital converter. So here the pre-filtering or an amplification, these two stages which is done in the signal conditioning unit. So pre-filtering is removing unwanted signals. So before the noise is also a signal. So in order to remove those noise, the pre-filtering is required. So it removes the undesirable high frequency components. So it uses the low pass filter. So in order to remove the high frequency component, and also the amplification, which is to amplify the signal to match the dynamic range of the ADC. So this is what the analog to digital conversion takes place. So it converts the analog signals into the digital signals. So here it is the process which is done is sample and hold, quantization, coding, and the final output will be the processed one, analog to digital one. So here the quantization, which is the transformation of a continuous analog input signal into a set of discrete output state. So the coding, which is having the assignment of a digital code or word and number to each of the output stage. So here the states, which is to be possible stage, number of stage will be represented in 2 power n. So 2 power n is the number of n, where n refers to the number of bits. So the resolution, quantization resolution will be the maximum voltage by the minimum voltage divided by the number of bits. So the error which is occurred will be given in the formula summation n and a function of t of k in minus f of k. So here the how to select a data acquisition card. So the data acquisition card, which is functioning as the analog to digital converter or digital to analog converter, both vice versa, and also the digital input output unit, and also the conditioning system, which includes amplification, pre-filtering, and the timer and trigger and the buffer. So it is possible and desirable to describe the operation of the measuring instruments or a system in the generalized manner. So without restoring to the indicate the details of the physical aspects of the system. So the whole operation can be described in terms of a functional element. So most of the measurement system which contains the three main functionals such as primary sensing element, variable conversion element and a data presentation element. So each functional element is made up of a function or distinct components or group of components. So which performs the required and definite steps in the measurement. So these function which is taken as a basic elements, so which is determined by their functioning rather than their construction. So the primary sensing element, the quantity which is under the measurement makes the first contact with the primary sensing element of a measurement system. So in other words, the measurement is first detected by the primary sensor. So then it acts immediately followed by the conversion. So here the measurand which is converted into an analogous electrical signal which is performed by the transducer. So a transducer in general is defined as a device which converts the one form of energy to the another form. So in electrical measurement, this definition is limited in a scope which is measured in it is a device. So the transduction which converts the physical quantity into an electrical quantity. So a physical quantity to be measured, first it is to be placed and it is sensed or detected by an element which gives the output in a different analogous form. So this output is then converted into an electrical signal by a transducer. So this is true of most of the case, but it is not true for all the cases. So in many cases, the physical quantity is directly converted into an electrical quantity by a transducer. So the first stage of a measurement system is known as a detector transduction stage, a variable conversion element. So the output of the primary sensing element may be an electrical signal such as voltage, frequency or some electrical parameters. So sometimes this output is not suited for the system. So the features which reflects the data selection acquisition card is analog to digital conversion. So it represents the number of bits which is involved in the operation. So and also the maximum sampling rate. The samples which is segregated with respect to the time period and also the number of channels used. So it determines the baud rate. So how far and how long and how long it takes to transfer the data from one device to the another device and total throughput. So and this is the final efficiency of the signal and also the aperture time which may be the one of the feature which represents in the selecting the data acquisition card. So this data acquisition card will be having a VIs. So this is involved in the sub VIs also. So this is what representing the data acquisition part. So here so far we have discussed about the data acquisition parts and also what is the functioning of each blocks in the data acquisition using a PC. So for the transducer, signal conditioning units and data acquisition board. So and also selecting the data acquisition board in terms of based on the features also portrayed in this session. So thank you for watching. Have a nice day.